Jai Baba, Chapter 3. Though Malsapati was pulled towards the young fakir, his lifelong prejudices prevented him from inviting Baba inside the Lord Khandoba temple. Baba understood. Though Malsapati wanted to embrace the young fakir, he abstained from doing so. Baba was clothed in the typical fakir dress code. He had long hair that reached way below his back. He wore a green cap, and though he wore a loose white shirt and a dhoti, there was a green shawl wrapped around his shoulders. Baba Sai smiled and then left the celebrations and wandered into the forest. Baba would sit under various trees deep in meditation. He spoke only when he was spoken to. He spent days and nights in this state of meditation, irrespective of the weather or the hardship. For the first few weeks, at certain times when he was not meditating, he would wander all around Shirdi and in the nearby villages. Children thought him to be mad. As often Baba would speak to himself, sometimes laugh and often curse. Children by nature are either very innocent or extremely heartless, and they would taunt him and even throw stones at him. Depending upon Baba's mood, he would either indulge them or throw stones right back at them. During this time, a number of evolved souls and saints met Baba. Sometimes Baba would sit in the Chavdi with Devidas. Devidas was a high soul, considered a saint, and had been living in Shirdi for a long time. Baba often sat inside Lord Hanuman's temple as well. There was another evolved soul, a saint by the name of Jankidas Gosavi, who would spend time with Baba. Baba was fond of Jankidas and they would often talk. It became clear to one and all that Baba truly loved Lord Hanuman. There was Gangagir, who was considered to be a Vaishya household saint. When he met Baba, Gangagir said, "Blessed is this Shirdi to have this jewel among men. He is not an ordinary man, and Shirdi is blessed." Once a famous saint by the name of Anandnath, who was a disciple of Swami Samartha of Akalkot, saw Baba and said, "He is a precious diamond, though he looks like an ordinary man. He is not an ordinary stone but a diamond. Today he lies neglected in a rubbish heap. Remember well these words of mine. He is a diamond. Later on you will be reminded of them." Baba loved gardening and tending to plants. He would go to Rahata, which was close by, and bring saplings of jasmine, marigold, jai and jui. He planted them in a very isolated place and he took care of all that he had planted. He watered the plants with a lot of love. He used to be deep within himself, lost to the world, absorbed in chanting and taking care of the plants. Vaman Tatya was a follower and believer of Baba since day one. He knew that this young fakir was no normal human being. People made fun of this fakir, children taunted him, elders avoided him, shopkeepers were rude to him, but Vaman Tatya knew that this young Sai was precious. He would supply 2 unbaked earthen water vessels to Baba daily. Baba would fill these pitchers, water the plants, and at the end of the day, he would keep these vessels under his neem tree. The moment he would place these pitchers under the neem tree, the pitchers would crack. The next day, Tatya would provide Baba with 2 new earthen pitchers. For the next 3 years, Baba tended to this garden. There were some people in Shirdi who believed in Baba and some who thought him to be a mad fakir. Malsapati's earlier turmoil had diminished. Every time he saw Baba, he was certain that Baba was no ordinary fakir and that Baba was his guru. He was a traditional Hindu priest. How could he make a fakir his guru? As time passed, Malsapati's love for Baba overpowered his prejudices and he began to spend time with Baba. Baba fondly would call him Bhagat, which means a disciple, a follower, a devotee. Malsapati had two friends, Kasinath, who was the village tailor, and another friend called Jogi. These three friends began to spend time with Baba. They offered him food, tobacco, and a rag cloth which Baba used for sitting or sleeping under the trees. Baba loved the margosa and the neem trees, and he was usually found meditating under them. The relationship between Malsapati and Baba began to grow and become steadfast. Malsapati was convinced that Baba was his guru, and in reality, he was the first disciple of Baba. He began to treat Baba as God incarnate long before the world acknowledged Baba's godhood, when for the world Baba was a mad, abusive, temperamental fakir. One day, a devotee of Swami Samarth, who was called Bhai, wanted to go to Akalkot and pay his respects, offer prayers and bow down to the padukas of Swami Samarth, which were installed in Akalkot. He decided to make plans to go for the pilgrimage from Bombay. The night before he was to leave for the pilgrimage, he had a dream. Swami Samarth appeared in his dream and told him, "At this moment I reside in Shirdi. Go to Shirdi." Bhai left for Shirdi and resided in Shirdi for 6 months. He installed Swami Samarth's padukas under the neem tree. All this while, Baba used to dress more like a village wrestler and not in the usual attire which he wore for the rest of his life. One day, Baba and Mohuddin Tamboli Bhai got into an argument. Mohuddin Bhai would sell betel leaves, nuts, tobacco and local cigarettes called bidis. The argument got more heated and in no time, Baba and Tamboli Bhai began to wrestle with each other. The bout lasted for a long while. It was a passionate fight and equally matched. Both were well versed with wrestling, and for a long while it was evenly matched. But after a while, Mohuddin defeated Baba, as the former was physically stronger than Baba. It was after he lost this wrestling fight that Baba changed his attire. He began to wear the long robe or kafni and began to tie a cloth around his head. This is the way we know Baba and see Baba. Was there a reason for this change of attire? And why did Baba begin to wear the kafni only after losing in a fight? Did Baba don the clothes of a fakir to embrace his divinity, throbbing within him even more, or not to be caught in the workings of the laws of karma? Was this the last pending karma which he had with the world? Baba never divulged. He would keep telling one and all that Allah is a friend of the poor. He chose the color white to signify that he was beyond religion. He was neither a Hindu nor a Muslim. He was Sai, the King of Oneness. Peace be to all. Glory to our Sai, our Lord and our Master. Jai Sai.